This is Cruise News Today with Doug Parker.
Changing passport rules. Carnival Cruise Line has updated its travel requirements for guests visiting Panama and taking Panama Canal cruises. While guests can still sail to Panama without a passport, they will not be allowed off the ship unless they have a valid passport book. This is a change from prior guidelines, which did not require passports unless a cruise started from one U.S. port and ended at a different one. All guests, including infants, must now carry a passport valid for at least 6 months beyond the cruise's end to get off the ship in Panama. And Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas will arrive in Miami 3 days later than planned after the listing incident that happened last week. Now, originally set to arrive in Miami on November 14th, the ship will now reach Miami on the 17th. For reference, last week, the ship listed heavily or leaned over to one side, injuring a lot of guests and crew and forcing the ship to turn around to medically evacuate a guest. At the time of broadcast, Explorer of the Seas is currently making 21 knots across the Atlantic. And the Disney Treasure made an unexpected stop in the Atlantic Ocean on Sunday to rescue 4 people from a sinking catamaran named Serenity off the coast of Bermuda. The 50-foot vessel began taking on water due to a gasket failure in the escape hatch about 230 miles from Bermuda. After a distress call from Serenity, the U.S. Coast Guard issued a broadcast for assistance. The Disney Treasure, traveling to Port Canaveral, was about 80 miles away and responded with a small boat and brought all the passengers on board with no medical issues. Very lucky. And cruise line stocks were up on Friday. Carnival Corporation up 1.7%, 24.07. Royal Caribbean up 2.2%, 225.27. Norwegian up 1%, 27.32. And Viking up 1%, 43.62. And this Veterans Day, we honor and thank all veterans for their courage, sacrifice, and service defending our freedom. This one's for you. If you have a lead on a story, let us know. tips@cruiseradio.net. Here in Vietnam, did a 10-hour hike today and exhausted. I'm Doug Parker with Cruise News Today. Have yourself a great Monday.